Hello, folks. My name is Neil. My pronouns are he, him, and I am the creator of Fey Earth, an indie TTRPG set in an alternate 19th century Earth where all the creatures from folklore and fairy tale are real, have always been real, and live alongside humanity. This fun session of Chaos tonight is being sponsored by the wonderful Lucky Leaf Teas. Um, Ari runs this delightful company which makes a whole host of tea brands themed off of the characters from your games. You can find it all at luckyleafteas.com. The Warlock blend is especially delightful, and we encourage you to check it out. But right now, going in a random order, I shall select. I'm going to ask each of our wonderful players to introduce themselves. So, starting off, Afa.
Hello, how are you folks? My name is Afa. My pronouns are she, her. And yeah, tonight I shall be playing Muirin Connolly, the Selkie Fey Touched.
Ben.
Hello, I'm Ben, he, him, and tonight I am playing Gibbs, the little gobbo rogue. He is a very fine, dapper, fine gentleman.
Evan.
Kia ora, hi, I'm Evan, pronouns he, him, and tonight I'll be playing Maurice, the giant. What does he do? Punchy guy. He's a fighter.
Yeah. Okay. Milo.
Hello, I am Milo, pronouns they, he. Tonight I will be playing Florence, the token human of the group.
Lovely. And finally, Molly.
Howdy, I'm Molly. I use she, they pronouns. I am playing Archie Harrison, the group gunslinger, and he's trying his absolute best.
Delight.
So, firstly, we have to petition the GM to rename the fighter class Punchy People.
Yeah.
The punchy people.
I was very proud of the fact. I was just proud of the fact that I have pugilism as an actual skill in the game.
Saw that, and
Yes.
that was the one. As soon as I saw that, I was like,
Yeah.
punchy, yes.
And I have a grappling mechanic, which, while not being perfect, it's better than grappling mechanics in a lot of other systems, which is really a low bar, let's be honest. Okay, the bar is in hell on that one. But anyway, so.
I'm going to test that theory.
No systems to name.
None whatsoever. So, let us get started. The year is 1872. You are currently just having left Munich in the south of the recently formed Germany. Up until about a year ago, there was no such thing as Germany. There was a collection of federations and states, but then there was the little thing called the Franco-Prussian War, in which Otto von Bismarck convinced Emperor Napoleon III, who both hated each other, but hated each other less than the Fey. And the Fey nation of Arcadia, nestled between the German states and France, had lost their king, who had been ruler for, 800 plus years or so. And when his son took the throne, Bismarck thought, they are weak. We will attack. There was a long and bloody war, ending with the Fey being victorious. On the last day of the war, there was a devastating attack in which about 90% of the French and Prussian forces were wiped out. Some said it was ancient infernal magic, but there has been much rumors that, in fact, the Fey awoke the dragons. And after that, Bismarck was able to convince the various German states to combine into this new German federation. But as we all know, the real Germans are the Bavarians, which is where you have been. You are a motley group of eclectic individuals who enjoy your travel and getting up to mischief, and had just been getting up to some mischief, and that is why you've had to leave the city of Munich. And you have decided, let's head to Salzberg. It's only about 100 kilometers away. It's lovely this time of year, and the Austrians have lots of money. So, as you are walking along the road, heading roughly in this direction of Salzburg, what are you talking about?
Described as motley, I am a perfectly fine individual to be having any to do. So motley is an unfair description. Maybe for the rest of you, but I am very dapper in my manner of acquiring coin.
Oh, what does motley mean? What does that mean, motley? Is that like spots? Skin spots?
I take it to be something disparaging.
Oh.
I'm not entirely sure, I'll be honest.
Well, it usually kind of is defined by incongruously varied in appearance or character, like disparate.
Oh, I'm feeling particularly motley today. Could do with some bacon, though.
Oh, bacon, that's good.
Bacon sandwich.
Got any?
I reckon if
Anyway.
you could get me a decent fire. Yeah, I reckon I could get one going. I can cook. I can cook.
Alright, well, we need a pig.
You
Anyone
are
see
well.
the
This is
farm?
the thing. You are actually you've left Munich, so you are now in the countryside. There are various farms around you. There's fields on either sides of you. You've already seen one or two farmhouses. And near those houses, the farmyards near the houses is generally where you would find things like pigs being kept.
Excellent. So, are we looking for work? We've had,
We're looking for pigs.
We could get work on a
I'm
pig farm.
thinking. I'm thinking like after breakfast. See, big picture.
I never really think about
Let's not think about that on an empty stomach. Yeah, you're right. Pig. Let's go.
So you are walking along for about another 10, 15 minutes when you see just up about maybe 400 or 500 meters up on the left another farming house. It looks like a pretty good, like it's a large structure. It's not like a single tiny little thatched cottage. This is a bigger house. So this is probably a wealthy farmer, probably has a lot more livestock on his or her farm. And you're thinking, there might be some little piglets that way.
How big a pig you need?
Maurice looks down at his ginormous body and just goes, maybe 2 to 3 little ones or just one big one.
So how about you describe to our viewers, what does Maurice look like?
Okay, so Maurice is Maori from Aotearoa and is about 6'5". If you've ever seen the movie Moana, her dad, that's what Maurice looks like, but in like a naval kind of pea suit, or like pea jacket, pea coat, sorry, and a flat cap, and little round glasses, but an absolute tank.
So we're talking like over 2 meters tall, at least 120 kilos.
Yeah, at least
Beast of a
120.
man.
Yeah.
Looks like he'd be back row for the All Blacks.
Oh yeah.
100%.
It'd be the whole back row.
Yeah. 100%. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, definitely someone who'd need more than one piglet.
Yeah.
But also, someone that can pick up
That's
more
true,
than one
but
piglet.
maybe if we're gonna ask the farmer for some pigs, I'm probably not the best person to do that. So I think some of you are better at the talking. I don't want to.
Didn't realize we were asking for the pigs.
Oh, well.
Thought we would just take them.
Okay, we could do that.
He's rich, whoever owns this farm's rich. Look how many fields they got. And the size of that house.
So
yeah, you're right.
The fields in which he grows his pigs.
From the piglet tree.
So what is the
the pig harvest is looking good this year.
Who was planning on sneaking onto the farm to try and acquire breakfast?
Right. I can sneak into the field, like open the gate and just send the piggies your way.
Yeah.
You can just wrangle them up and shove them on the fire or whatever.
Oh yeah. You heard them, I'll snatch them.
How about a distraction?
Oh, yes.
I personally think I could charm the pigs from a farm.
You're going to
I
charm
could
them
charm the pigs
onto
from
the
a
fire.
farm.
I want to see this. This is going to be
I
good.
can.
Right. So this is what happens as you are all getting slightly closer. Gibbs and Arch, you start moving towards the gates. When you actually see just ahead of you, what at first you think is some like I don't know, maybe somebody dumped some clothing or something, but then you realize, oh shit, no, it's a man lying on the road. You know, not looking great.
You want to go poking, or should I?
Hold on.
Maybe
Arch-
he's just a bit drunk. You should leave him alone.
I'm gonna poke him. Takes out
Okay,
his
so
dagger.
Marin, you poke him.
Not with the sharp end.
Fine. Flips the dagger.
As you poke him, he cries out, and his eyes groggily open. You don't smell any alcohol off the guy, so you don't think he's drunk. As he looks up at you, he's like, "What? What? Where am I?"
Hello, darling. Wakey, wakey.
Oh God! He's clutching at his ribs. Oh. And you see him try to get up, and he falls back, struggling for a minute, and then slowly putting his arms behind him to try and push his torso up. And he's like, oh God, oh, what the, what? This isn't Elspeth.
How did a
Where
fine
am
young
I?
man such as yourself end up in the middle of the road like this?
It was those cursed Fey. They took me last night.
Cursed, huh?
Awkward side eye to the other people in the party, apart from Florence.
Where am I? Where am I?
Where did you come from?
Elsbeth, just outside Salzberg.
Right, you're a little ways from Salzberg, mate.
Where are we? Where's the nearest town or city?
Archie's going to go and sit crisscross next to him and just kind of lean over. Well, you know, I've heard the Cursed Fae have quite the sense of direction. I mean, maybe if you weren't acting such an arse towards them, you might have actually gotten the directions to where you need to go.
No, you don't understand. The last few nights, the wild hunt has appeared outside our town. They've been harassing people. There's been a lot of disturbances. I was walking home last night from the tavern when I heard this thunderous sound of horses in the air above me, horns blasting, and the wind blowing so hard I thought some of the roofs of some of the houses were going to be ripped up. And then the next thing I knew, the wind caught me and pulled me up into the air and carried me away. I was crying and screaming, but it was no use. Oh, where the bloody hell am I, though?
Have you got a map on you?
No, I don't. Looking at this guy now, you can see he looks to be in his mid-30s. He slowly gets up. He looks like he's done something, like he's definitely got bruised or maybe a broken rib. Tall, fairly strongly built guy, clearly somebody who works, dark blonde hair, strong jawline. He has a well-kept beard, and he's wearing the simple clothes you'd expect of anybody working in kind of farming background.
Yeah. You look injured there, buddy. Let me have a look at you. I can patch you up. What's your name?
Albrecht. Albrecht is my name. And yours?
Maurice.
Maurice. Nice to meet you, sir.
And you, yeah.
It must have been when they dropped me here, wherever the hell here is.
Yeah. I mean, they dropped you. You sure it just wasn't a bit of a wild party, not a wild hunt?
I said, wait, and he just looking off. He says, "Is that a city off in the distance?" And pointing back in the direction of Munich, he can just barely make out the spires of one or two of the church towers and buildings that are there. He's like, "Is that a city?"
Yeah, that's a city.
What city is that?
That's Munich.
So that's Munich.
Jeez, that's nearly 100 kilometers away from where I live. Those cursed Fey. Oh, what will the nuns?
Yeah, I
What
blame
are
the
the
faithful lot
nuns
of shit as
going to
well.
say? Oh no!
What are the gnomes going to say?
Oh no! You don't understand. No, I'm a footman in Goldstein Castle. It's a castle in their town. It's more of a monastery now, really. The nuns live there. There's talk of actually selling it and turning it into a private school for daughters of wealthy families. But yeah, I'm a footman and porter there.
Oh yeah, that's a long way away. Hold on, let me just check your wounds, and I'll have a little glance over him, see if he's injured. And while I'm doing that, I'm also going to be scoping out if he's got any cash or money on him.
Okay, well,
if he's packing heat.
Give me an awareness roll. He doesn't. He's not carrying any weapons on him. Not even he doesn't even have a walking cane with him.
Okay. Awareness.
Yeah, you have a 1 in awareness.
D20, yeah.
Everything's D20.
Everything's D20.
Always D20.
That's a natural 4.
He looks like a fairly poor working class farmer type. He probably doesn't have more than a couple of coppers, maybe a silver on him, and he doesn't appear to be carrying anything. He doesn't have. You don't see a club or walking stick on. Like he's not carrying one, and there's none near him. He does look like he has a small workman's knife strapped to his hip, but it's like something that like pretty much any man in Germany would wear. It's a workman's knife. 10, 15 centimeter single edged heavy blade. Any farmer or most tradesmen would carry with them. You have one probably on you somewhere. So yeah. But he is clutching his side, so he does look somewhat injured, just from the way he's holding himself.
Right. Let me just get my medical kit, and I'll go back, and I'll head back towards Maureen. And I'll just whisper, "He's got nothing on him. He's got no coins on him.
Nothing?
Nah.
Sure, leave him.
Yeah.
Why don't someone carry this fellow up to that farmhouse over there, and in the meantime, the others of us can maybe acquire somebody's piggies."
I suppose it'd be a kind thing to do.
Now I'm thinking, boy, this is a good distraction, right?
Yeah.
Like really bad delivery stocks.
Oh.
You're doing the fella a service. He's getting a kindness by being taken, and obviously the farmer will take care of him because that's what farmers do. And meanwhile, we can acquire some piggies.
I mean,
So who's going back to Albert?
I think Archie's been sat next to him the entire time.
Okay, well, so as you know, he's like, "Oh wait, oh scheiße, we're getting that wine delivery today. I was supposed to help unload the wagon. Oh, the nuns are going to kill me."
Oh, why a wine delivery?
Yeah, from Vienna, of course. The church is short of many things, but money is not one of them.
Tragic, really. And he'll kind of look up at him, and he's wearing these like half loon sunglasses. We'll kind of pull them down on his nose. He's got bright white eyes that kind of have like an opalescent sheen to them.
Yeah.
He'll kind of look up at him. Well, Fey back. We could help with the wine.
That would be, well, I mean, it'll be a few days travel for us to get there, but certainly when we do get there, I could introduce you to the nuns. They would certainly be happy for any help that you might be able to offer them. You could make a bit of coin. Like, you know what these monastic orders are like? Each member of the monastery has no money, but the monasteries themselves, they have plenty of coin.
Oh, we would be, and I'll kind of look back to the others. We would be thrilled to help with such a needy and worthwhile cause.
Oh,
As
I'm
you can see, we are a wonderful band of travelers.
I'm so thankful. I found myself in the company of such good Christians. Oh,
Oh, absolutely. And he'll draw a cross across his chest. Yeah. He's like, we are, if anything, a caring band of individuals. I mean, just look at us.
yeah,
You
no,
rescued
clearly
me from a roadside as well.
good Catholic souls, not like those Protestant Prussians. Yeah, no, absolutely.
God.
He just nods.
Yeah.
Morris's eyes twitching.
I
A fist clenches.
What kind of wine are we talking about here?
mean, all I know is that it was expensive boxes of wine from Vienna.
Befitting the holy Christian venue which we will be visiting.
Yeah, like not the stuff that they use at the mass, because that stuff tastes disgusting. No, this is like for their private dining.
We need to help rescue. I mean, deliver that.
Absolutely.
I can
Yeah,
do private
absolutely.
dining, yeah.
Do you need dining?
All right, so maybe we fix a fella up and then head out to get some wine. Could still do with some
Bye,
piggies.
piggies. Calm those piggies. Are we gonna be like all Fey up in front of this guy, outside the table?
Well, I
She's
don't think
already
Archie's given us. Oh, never mind. That's outside the table.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't think we've been given a choice here because Archie's just been like,
Yeah.
"Hey,
There you go.
The thing is, and you guys all know this. There is no such thing as a passing Fey touched. If you're a Fey touched, you will always will have
Okay.
some physical identifying marks that show your Fey lineage. Usually, it's a physical feature like Archie's eyes, or Muirin's. You have webbed hands, don't you, Muirin?
No, I'm just constantly damp.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, constantly damp. So there's always something. There is no such thing as passing Fey touched. Okay, but when somebody is talking the way Albrecht is about the Fey, he's not talking about Fey touch. He's talking about the true Fey. Certainly if he's talking about the Wild Hunt,
Okay.
like that's a legendary phenomenon found in mostly the Germanic regions of Europe, though some Nordic areas as well, and no one really knows what it is. The church says that it's the souls of the damned and the dead and soldiers who died in battle. Others say that it's the ancient gods marching and galloping across the sky trying to reclaim their followers, but no one actually knows. But all people know is that it's really scary Fey magic stuff. So yeah. So right, well, it'll be about 2 days travel to get back to Elsbethen, but I mean, if we're walking at a good pace, we can rest on the way, stay in some towns overnight. Have a small bit of coin, or we can maybe just find a barn or something to sleep in. Um, yeah. Okay, right. So shall we?
Onwards.
So you kind of
I'll lap him on the shoulder.
he's looking up around and you can see it's okay. So there's the sun. So east is this way. Yeah. So we are going this way. I mean, the reality is that roads in Europe in this time there's not that as many of them, and they are designed to connect major urban areas, such as the cities of Munich and Salzburg, which are only about 100 kilometers from each other. They're really close. So yeah. You start walking on the road. And Albrecht is like asking his all questions about yourselves, and he seems to be a fairly easygoing, down to earth kind of guy. He's trying to walk at a steady pace, but he does definitely have some sort of an injury, heavy bruising or maybe a minor fracture or something. But he is trying to keep pace with you all. You guys were on foot.
Maybe we should get away.
Slowing us down. That's the thing.
Slightly. If anybody wanted to try to heal him, that might speed him up.
Come on then, let's give that a go. Anyone got healing?
I have herbalism. If he wants some, natural remedies, those are famously great.
You do also have healing spells.
I do have that.
Yeah. You have the spell.
I do have my spell list.
Major healing touch, yeah, which is not a bad spell.
Ooh.
Alright, I got the opposite of healing. I don't think it's going to help.
13.
So
Learning.
if you want, you could cast Major Healing Touch, yeah.
It seems a lot to waste on.
It would cost. It would cost 4 mana, yeah, and you have 58 mana.
Oh, I have 58. Oh, I'll be fine. I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to
58.
forage. Nah.
Yeah, you'd be
I
fine.
can.
So you lay a hand on him, and just before we do this, describe to me, what does Florence look like?
Florence is medium high, like 5'6" or something. Definitely taller than some people here. Definitely shorter than some people here. She's very pale. Her hair is kind of goes down to about waist length. It's a very dark sort of brown. Her hands are very. She's very pale, and her clothes very much contrast that. Trying to make herself all shadowy and fit in with the rest of these little thieving people, something she isn't exactly used to.
Does she, and in terms of clothing, does she just wear a normal walking skirt with a jacket, or does she wear something else?
Yeah, it's kind of like a skirt that does drag against the floor a little bit. That definitely does have some dirt around its ankles, and a jacket with a coat on top, multiple layers. You know how Europe is.
Super. Okay, so yeah, you lay your hands on Albrecht, channeling your magic. There's a brief flash of energy. You guys have all seen Florence do this before, many times to all of you, as your healing energy enters into his body. And he gasps in surprise, because people being able to do this kind of stuff is pretty rare. And he's like, oh, you're a spellcaster. You have magic.
I thought that was expected.
I mean, okay, we have a new priest in the village, Father Leitner, and he actually is a gifted mystic as well with magic. But until he arrived in Elsbeth, I'd never met a person with magic before. I mean, you hear about the sorcerers and that in Vienna, and you hear about witches living off in the forest and in the woods and in the wilds, but
I guess you're a very lucky fella bumping into us, then,
I
ain't you?
really, truly am. I mean, and where did you learn this magic? Are you also, are you a nun as well?
But I wouldn't call myself a nun. That's a bit, semantics and all that. But yes, I'm a spellcaster. I do magic.
That's incredible. None of the sisters in the castle have any of these abilities. We were quite surprised when we got our new priest and discovered that he was an accomplished mystic as well. It's quite rare, of course, but yes.
Yeah, you will encounter some strange things around here. And she looks at her group of friends.
Honestly, this is the furthest I've ever left my town.
Can I get
by choice?
Is this guy? Is he straight up?
Give me an awareness roll. Or, I mean, you can use awareness or charm, whichever you think makes more sense for Morris.
Um,
So are you trying to, like, read his body language or, like, kind of
yeah, he's going
get
on
a feel
about
of
the
his personality, you
monastery
know?
and all like the, I've never seen this kind of thing before, apart from this one guy, and I'm just like, is he being straight up or is he holding some stuff back? Is he being
Right.
totally legit with this?
Give me a roll.
Okay, I'll probably just be awareness because I'm not actually talking to him. I'm listening to him converse with
Oh,
Florence. So
super. I don't
I
think
mean,
you
while
have...
you're trying to suss him out, Florence
You
is
do
soaking this
have...
up.
Sorry to interrupt you there, Florence. Morris, you do have behaviorist, so you can add that to the roll as well, because you
oh,
actually have studied in reading body language. So that
Yeah.
makes us a +3 instead of a +1.
okay, so I got 13 on the dice.
So that's 16. So, okay, not a bad roll. You're like, no, this guy seems to be fairly legit, honest, down-to-earth guy. Like, you do pick up on what he says about a new priest in the who's just become the parish priest in the village,
Right.
who's also gifted in magic, which you would know is quite rare. Like, people can join the various Christian churches to study and take formal training in magic, but not every priest is a spellcaster.
Okay.
You know, the 4 ways in which you could study magic is through a religion, becoming a mystic, being trained by the clergy, going to a university and studying as a sorcerer, where they treat magic as a science. You could join the Druid order, which is similar to the organized religions, or a witch. And witches are often hereditary, and it's more of an apprenticeship style relationship.
Ooh. Hey, what's that priest's name again?
For Father Leitner.
Father Leitner.
He's fairly new. He's fairly new to the village. He's only been with us less than 6 months.
Okay, sounds interesting.
Basic grifter.
Yeah, I reckon.
Yeah.
It sounds like it's a scam.
I mean, I've seen some of his gifts now myself, but
It's
so I've never seen him using the healing skills that your sister friend here used.
oh, yeah.
He
Kind of.
uses other magics to connecting with the heavens and the divine, and
Does he ever try and manipulate people with these gifts?
no, though he would be quite a he's a very,
Hands
shall
on.
we say, traditional, conservative minded priest. Spends a lot of time talking about sin and
Oh.
doesn't like the Fey, actually. Really does not like the Fey at all. In fact, and this is like he's openly having this conversation when he's walking along the road. He's does not like the Fey. In fact, we once had in the village we once had a dwarf living in our village. Weisthorn was his name, and he lived in the village, but he was an artificer and would he had some sort of a shop in Salzberg where he would go to sell his wares, but he mostly stayed living in Elsbethen. And when Father Leitner first arrived in the village, they ended up getting into quite a conflict. In fact, there was an actual magical battle between the two of them. I did not see it. Some of other villagers saw it. They said it was quite terrifying that Father Leitner was calling down holy radiant beams of light and striking the dwarf with it. He was using his own magics, and he actually drove the dwarf out of the town. He's now living in a new house
Blimey.
in the
Must be an Old
woods.
Testament priest.
I suppose so, yes, but Weisthorn is he still is somewhat near the area, but he moved out of the village into the woods just outside Elsbethen. So yes, not healing magic, but certainly divine magic. Very wrathful and righteous.
Poor dwarf. Always against us short people.
Yeah.
You mentioned artificer.
Yes, the dwarf was an artificer. He would sell his wares in Salzburg because we are quite like that's maybe 20 kilometers outside of Salzburg.
Oh,
Like, we are quite close.
any handlings with weaponry?
I could not tell you. I bought one or two items off of him myself. But simple things like fairy globes to light my house instead of an oil lamp, and an arcanogram so I could magically send letters to relatives. Those sort of things. I mean, I'd have no need for weapons. I'm a footman and I'm living in a village surrounded by farmers.
Anything weird happened since you got this new priest? Any dodgy business?
What do you mean?
You know, funny visitors or people?
No, no, no. I mean,
Any miracles?
I've heard that a few times. Like, well, I've not heard. I've seen it once or twice where he's seems to call on divine magics in his sermons in mass. But the only funny thing that's been happening is in the last few days, the wild hunt appearing over at town. That's the only funny thing.
Sounds like a bit of a show-off. Magic's in sermons unnecessary, innit?
I don't know. You want to keep your faithful obedient, I guess.
Obedience, yeah, overrated.
Yeah, what about free will?
I will say that Father Leitner has been a bit conservative, as I said, with his views about people's habits and
I don't like the sound of him.
he's
No,
not.
it sounds like a shit system
He's
to me
not.
anyway,
He's not a
but
very
let's get to that
pleasant
wine
man.
there.
Yes. So, so like he basically like if he's asking any questions about the town, he's quite open about it. It seems to be a fairly simple, small village. As he said, it's like about maybe 20 kilometers outside of Salzburg, just on the base of a small hill with woods surrounding it as well. We're not talking massive kilometers of forest, a small woodland. And if you ask him more about the priest, Father Leitner, he seems to be a real kind of fire and brimstone kind of guy, telling everybody to avoid their lives of sin and avoid the Fey because that way leads to um, seduction and corruption and sin. And, he's been saying that, well,
And threaten me with a good time.
yeah. So you spend most of the day in travel, okay, and then eventually you stop off in a town where you're just going to spend the night. You get rooms fairly cheap, a couple of copper each, okay. You get a nice meal, some nice. It's not bacon, but it is ham,
Okay.
okay.
Acceptable.
I'm a pescatarian.
Get a fish.
ridiculous.
They have they like if you ask them, they say that we have some trout that was cut from from the river, if that would do.
Perfect. Thank
Okay.
you.
You want me to cut your trout into the shape of a ham?
Thanks, Gabo.
I
So
will
we'll say
Sorry.
between room and board, like food, drinks, and room for the night, it's like a silver each. It's not much, fairly inexpensive, okay, and you do have a pretty good night. He's drinking a bit and chatting to this Albert guy, who does seem like a genuinely nice chap. And once Florence used her magic on him, he was definitely able to keep pace with you all. Whatever injury he'd had, you had healed it. It was probably an injury that occurred when he was dropped from the sky by the wild hunt, you're assuming. Um, you don't know. But it would make sense if he was carried 100 kilometers from where he lives by these fey creatures. So, yeah. Um, the next day, you're on the road again, and he says that you should get to Elspeth in about somewhere between 8 to 10 hours. So later in the evening, you'll get there.
I'll ask the group. Do any of you know anything about this wild hunt?
Let me just look.
Not from my neck of the woods, anyway.
Hold on, just give me 1 second. I'm gonna check. No. 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 No, none of you have failure.
We're doing so well.
Moving on.
So then all any of you would know, Morris, you would know the least, but
Yep, absolutely.
absolutely you would know these because this is like very much Germanic European folklore, but that it's this what's the word for it again? Not a barrage, a horde that would appear at night charging across the sky on horses, surrounded by hounds, like pack hounds for hunting, blasting their hunters' horns, galloping, and that they sometimes might like damage roofs of buildings with their winds. And there are stories of them sweeping people up and carrying them many kilometers away and dumping them back down. There are some stories that say they are prophetic, that they would often appear before there's going to be a great battle or war. And there were sightings of them before the Franco-Prussian War started. But they are a ephemeral, almost elemental force of fey magic that people know about but don't really understand. And people would have like traditions that they would practice. So on nights when it's believed the wild hunt, for example, are going to be out, you'd leave your front door and your back door open so they'll pass through your house without harming anybody, and those kinds of customs and practices. But it is very much a thing of like people try to ignore it and they try not to draw its attention. And if they do, you just hunker down and you try to hide until they pass over.
Sounds like a lot of fun.
I was
to be
thinking
honest.
that as well. I was like, I'm going for a sky ride with the Fae. Bit of hunting involved.
I mean, if you ask around, like especially that night in the pub, you do hear there are stories of like young maidens who would fall in love with hunters that would turn out to be elven princes who were part of the hunt, and then they would leave with them joining the hunt and spending the rest of their days for all eternity racing across the skies at night and that kind of thing.
They sound like my kind of guys.
Yeah.
Right. Hey, I don't know if you know, but I'm with the hunt.
Get their number.
Okay, I don't know much about this. Lead on, I guess, unless anyone else wants to get any more info out of this guy.
Archie has absolutely been spinning himself as like the dream of this priest. Like he's been spinning himself as, you know, completely like sinless, like doesn't drink, like keeps himself to himself, which like the rest of the party know is absolute bull. Well, like he's just seeing how far he can stretch this lie. It's like he's trying to say the most ridiculous things he can say and see if this guy will believe it.
Give me a charm roll with deception.
Oh,
And
awesome.
you also have conversationist, so that brings this up to a +8 because
Oh,
Archie is quite the bullshit artist
That's a 17.
on the die.
Yeah.
So that's a 25 total.
Jeez.
I've got deception as well as a skill.
Yeah, no, I added that too. Yeah.
Cool.
So yeah, all right. So yeah, Albert is convinced. He's like, "Oh, I'll have to introduce you to Father Leitner when we get to Elsbeth. Then he'll be so happy to meet a devout, a soldier in Christ such as yourself. Because he would have seen your revolver, so he assumes
He's
that
got a
you're.
massive, yeah.
So he, like I'm saying, like he saw you have an arcane revolver and then a mundane revolver, don't you? Do you have any other firearms on you? I can't remember.
I think I gave him.
Was it a shotgun or a rifle?
I think I gave him a rifle. He's got a Harper's Ferry 1841 Mississippi rifle, and I think I had him having a Cooper Pocket double action revolvers.
Oh, the Cooper Pocket, yes. Quality. That is a beautiful
My
weapon.
favorite one.
Yeah. Out of all the pocket weapons.
I'm more of a Webley girly, but
I get it. I get it. Yeah.
But yeah, no, so he's got that, and then he carries a walking stick. He doesn't necessarily lean on it as such, but it is a very ornate walking stick with kind of silver screaming spirits engraved upon the side of it in silver. You guys have seen him. The top unscrews, turns upside down, and it becomes a firing stick, so he can rest the rifle on it.
Oh, that's cool.
Because he's extra.
So extra.
Extra.
Right. Okay.
I think before, like if we get a quiet moment together away from Albert, I'll say, what's the plan when we get to this monastery? We're gonna help load wine. What's surely there's got to be I don't know. You've got the brains. Is he gonna? Are we gonna just like loot the place, or is there
Think
a
about it this
heist?
way.
What's that?
If we loot it, it's well obvious. Like, if we
Yeah.
take the wine, we're doing the job, and oops, the wine disappeared.
One in every 10 bottles. You've got big pockets.
Yeah, but he also said that monastery's got money.
We deliver most of the wine, we collect our payment, we take a little bit off the top as a commission, we get on the road. I could not be arsed with all of these holy feckers looking at me funny, okay?
Been looking at you funny? Who's been looking at you
they're always
funny?
looking at me funny. Your man, Albrecht, whatever his name is. In
To be fair,
reality,
this priest sounds like he would look at you funny, so I'm with
in
Maureen.
reality, Muirin has been looking at him funny, and
Yeah, he's looking back at you funny.
looking back at her, just kind of confused as to why he's being frowned at so hard. So she thinks that, uncomfortable. Better get out of these monasteries. I don't like them.
What about you, Florence?
I mean, it's been a while since I've been in a monastery or anything similar, but I'm sure I could say a few things. We could always overstay our welcome.
I don't like how
I'm just saying, I know this type of folk, these type of people. They do like a good chat, especially about themselves. If I just talk and you will, do what you like to do, and we could have a pretty good haul.
Are you gonna keep him busy? Is that the play?
Yeah, I don't know anything about Christians. I mean, I know the Bible. I know that there was a small. You are so smart. I'm gonna learn about the Bible while you guys do all the fun stuff, because of course that's what I get to do, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm sorry, that sounds really dull as shit, but yeah, I could definitely slip around the back and have a look around all their vaults and whatnot. I'm sure there's some stuff.
As long as you come back with some good stories, I'm sure that I can tell you all about the Bible in exchange.
He'll kind of clap Florence on the shoulder.
Oh,
and
Florence.
I'll hang around with you. It'll be a learning experience for the day.
Sorry, these Christians love their sacrificial lambs, in there.
I'm not gonna leave her on her own.
No, I'm not saying that, but like, you're taking one for the team, you know?
She gets bored. Florence, what if you get bored?
What if I get bored?
You need your entertainment. That's
I
why
might
I'll
get
stay with
bored.
Florence.
Yeah, I'm not sneaky. I mean, I'm not sneaky. May I'll stay with you too, Florence, and let the sneaky sneaks do the sneaking.
Yeah, I'm going with Gibbs.
All right, cool. Plan. Love it.
Gibbs holds up a high five to the other rogue in the party, like reaching right up because he's tiny.
Yeah.
Aaron pretends
Does
not to
not
see us.
reciprocate. Left you hanging.
Yeah, like it is
That's it.
actually when Morris and
Slippery.
Gibbs stand beside each other, it's comical. Because like Gibbs isn't even 150 centimeters and Morris is over 2 meters, so it's actually comical.
Because what does Gibbs look like? What's like his vibe?
Yeah.
What does Gibbs look like?
Gibbs is a dapper young little gentleman, and when I say little, we mean properly little. He's like 120 centimeters, but that's like 120 centimeters with his hat, which is a proper
You
top
can't
hat.
include the hat as your height.
And no, that's it's like it's part, and like I am actually that tall with my head. It's just don't make fun of it.
I wouldn't. I would never.
And there is a nice dapper jacket and shirt. All of it's mismatching, like slightly different colours of black, and he's obviously gotten it from different, not people, but different shops, probably.
Not motley.
So he's a very, very tidy and respectable gentleman.
And he is a goblin Fey touch. So what physically identifying characteristics does he have that would make somebody see him and say, "Oh, you probably have goblin blood"?
I mean, he's as well as being tiny, he's clearly has a goblinoid face.
So, okay.
It's got like pointy ears, pointy nose, sharp
Pointy
cheekbones.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, no, super. Absolutely great. Super. All right. So you do another day of travel. You get to the town, Elsbeth, and at about 7 o'clock in the evening. Coming into it seems like a pretty nice town. It's small, not too big. It's probably only, maybe 1,500, 2,000 people living here, if even. It's quite small. Okay. The usual stuff you'd expect in a small town like this. The biggest looking building is the inn, which when you get to, it says Vaisalam, which literally just means the white lamb, and there is a painting of a white lamb on the front. And he goes, so yeah, Fabian and Isolde, they run the Vaisalam, they do, they've got, good Weissbier, good lager, good sausages, it's good. Yeah, and he's pointing around.
You just mentioned all the food groups. Thank you. That
Yeah.
sounds amazing.
Yeah. So he's pointing. He's like, "There's Wolfhard, the carpenter. He lives there." And he's like, "Okay, the head. There's the school. It's run by Nicholas Marx. He's the headmaster, and his wife Serena. She's the teacher there as well. She handles the small children. Nicholas handles the big kids. Serena, she also organizes a choir that sings in the church, and he points to St. Elizabeth's Church, and then he points to a big building near. He's like, "That's Colstein Castle." It's a very, very grand-looking, large structure. It's like as big as the tower on the church. Like it's a big, big structure. Like possibly is an actual old castle. You look like if somebody said, "Oh, that's a castle," you'd believe them. If somebody said, "Oh, that's a really old monastery," you'd believe them. It's that kind of a vibe, that kind of architecture. And then he points the priest. He lives in that house there near the church, and it's kind of like a house a little bit off from the church, which is just off from the main town square. He's like, so we go and get a drink? Yeah?
Yep.
Okay. Right. So, okay. So yeah, you go in and you come into a pretty nice looking common room. It's fairly busy, like there's probably over 20 people here, all like look to be mostly local farmers and their wives having drinks, some people having some food as well. There's a small fire lit, but it's not a very big fire because it's late April, early May, so it's warm, so it's more to take the night chill out of the air rather than heat the room, you know. You do see behind the bar a human man, average height, portly build, with balding hair, with a ring of brown hair around and a round face. And he says, "That's Fabian." And then pointing off to the side, you see a woman, average height, very plump build, brown hair turning grey, and a round face with rosy cheeks and a big funny smile. And she's like laughing and smacking somebody's shoulder. That's Isolde. She's lovely. She's lovely, and he says, you can definitely get rooms here. Cheap rooms here.
Oh, drinks. Yes. I'm going to have a hugest beer that you ever did see. And what does everyone want? Let's go.
Stout for me. Thank you very much.
Stout. Right. Oh, come on. Tonight's your night. I feel it. I feel it in my...
You say that every time. Every time. And every time I end up even more under the table.
A stein glass is about the same size as Gibbs' head. Like, even with the hat,
Archie, what are you having?
Same as you. Same size.
Yes. Yes, Archie, let's go. Florence?
Well, I will have a beer, I think.
Join the competition.
Maurice looks shocked.
Tonight.
You will have a beer.
Oh, it's new day, new me. I just wanted you all seem to have so much fun. It just seems to be.
Yeah, no, this is great. This is growth. I am so proud of you. Let's Fabio.
What does it taste like?
Oh, you're gonna find
Triple
out.
whiskey for Florence, please, right here.
Triple whiskey for Florence.
Okay, so you order. So you get 2 steins, a stout. Was it 1 whiskey or 2?
Triple.
And 3 whiskeys. So that all we'll say comes to like 2 silver. Now you. Oh, I forgot to add your money to your character sheet. You actually do have like 25 silver starting the game, so you're grand. Okay. You need more, so money's not a problem.
And Albrecht, what would you like?
Oh, a stein. Thank you very much if you're offering.
Of course. I'll let you go thirsty coming back to your hometown.
No. Thank you very much. You have all been so kind and hospitable, and he goes with you as you go up to get the drinks.
Yeah.
And
I'm smiling and just thinking how much we're going to rob that place. So
yeah. No, you get to the top, and the innkeeper is like, he's looking up. He's like, "My God, you're a big one."
I am.
Did your father fuck a giant?
Not directly. Maybe a few generations back, possibly.
Oh, Albrecht, where were you? The sisters have been complaining that you weren't there the other, like the wine arrived 2 days ago and you weren't there to unload it. And I was like, I I woke up on the side of the road outside of Munich. He's like, what? That cursed Fey Wild Hunt. And then he says that there's a momentary hush in the pub.
Look around, scan.
Yeah, and you see a few people kind of like frowning and nodding their heads, and Fabi's like, look, please, it's been what 4 or 5 nights now in a row. It's getting terrible. One of the farms, they had half the thatch on the roof ripped off last night. It's just it's been awful. I don't know why it's happening either. Some of us were thinking maybe we should go into the woods and see if we can find Weistone again. Maybe that dwarf could help us. I don't know. And when you say that, there's a few grumbles and murmurs and mutters, and then someone else says, well, something must have happened with the priest. There was lights and stuff 5, 6 nights ago when this whole thing started over at his house.
Oh.
Oh,
Have you not seen him around?
I mean, when he's not at Mass on the Sunday, he's usually maybe off visiting some of the old Hausfrau in the area, or, you know,
Not tending to his flock.
well, he doesn't come in here. He called Fabian the English. Yes, you won't come in here because apparently we're all sinners if we enjoy a nice stein of beer. And there's a few chuckles and murmurs from the villagers about this.
Oh, what? Because it's not the monastic wine?
Well, maybe if he had some of that, maybe if he sipped some of his wine, be a bit happier, you know.
Sorry, just to go back, you said he was visiting and I missed what you said. Was it the?
It's like the Hausfrau, the old ladies in the area, you know.
Oh, okay.
Maybe we should
Hausfrau.
go and have a chatter with him tonight.
yeah.
Just to introduce ourselves. I mean, we're a friendly bunch.
Maybe wait until the
So
morning.
friendly.
You might be better off waiting until the morning. Honestly, things are a bit strange in the house at the moment, and that poor niece of his, Ida. And he's like, oh yeah, like there's a few people muttering again. It's like, I haven't seen that girl in days. And someone else yet says like, Stefan was over there a few days ago repairing a broken window, and he said the poor girl looks like she's locked in a room.
We should
Then
go
we don't
tonight.
have to go.
We should just go over tonight.
Alright, let's have a few more
Yeah.
first, though.
Can
yeah.
you pass
Yeah,
down
yeah,
that? Can you pass that down and fill that up? And I point to the yard glass that's above there.
Okay, I'm sorry. Why don't you just take the barrel, mate?
Oh, you got a portable barrel?
What?
No. No, I see what you're trying to do, Gibbs. I see what you're trying to do. No, I'm not falling for that.
So you just basically knock back to Stein instead, yeah? Full liter of beer.
Yep.
Right, and if the innkeeper is looking at you gobsmacked, but he's like, I've never seen anyone do that.
Well, you have never met me before, have
Oh,
you?
that was normal for him.
Yeah,
Would
that
you
didn't
lo-
even touch the sides.
Would you like another, sir?
Yeah, I want the yard.
Oh, okay. And he
Yeah.
takes down the yard glass and puts it down and fills it up from the keg, and it's just like it takes a minute or so to fill up. Like it's not quick.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then he hands it to you, and
Yep.
there's a hush, and everybody's looking excited. And as you start to drink it, there's on the tables, people banging and cheering, and after about like 20 seconds, you finish the whole thing. It's like,
God Almighty belch.
yeah.
Ah!
Alright, that's the stuff. Now let's go
That is
confront a
nice.
priest.
Archie, you said you were keeping up with me tonight, didn't you?
He is going to look at his stein, look back at Maurice, and try and chug it.
Okay, Archie, give me a fortitude roll, please.
What's my fortitude?
1.
Hey! That's a 1.
Oh my god!
So this is what
Weird.
happens. You chug, 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 and you're about maybe 3/4 of the way through it when it hits the back of your throat, and it starts going down the wrong way because you were running out of air, and you reflexively tried to inhale a gasp of air as you were drinking, and it just starts coughing and sputtering, and you spill the remaining quarter of the stein all over the front of you as you're coughing and spluttering. And as you do, your head suddenly starts to swim and you're becoming slightly dizzy as this, like, over 700 mils of beer that you ingested seems to be hitting you all at once.
I rush over and grab the stein off Archie, like, quickly place it aside. All right, mate.
I can keep going. He'll try and like kitten weakly like wrestle it back.
Yeah. Hey, Gibbs, let him cook.
All right, I'll give you a bit of a wide berth. All right.
He will like clear the like alcohol from his nose. Will kind of like like spit out whatever's kind of come back up again, and he's gonna try again.
So you get a fresh stein. Okay. And you try to chug this one again. Give me a fresh fortitude roll, please.
Live, laugh, love. Oh shit, that's a
The
drop.
target number has gone up because of the failure you just had.
Oh no.
Oh no. Who's paying for all these drinks?
That's a 14.
Okay, you managed to finish it this time without, inhaling half of the glass. But at this stage, you are definitely not sober. And the innkeeper turns around to you, Mars. That's going to be 2 silver, please, sir.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah,
Bang.
slap it down, okay. And he's like, okay, thank you very much, sir. So yeah, like you managed to like not choke this time, but you are not sober.
Yeah. Well,
He's
we'll start up a chair like for Archie. Like, yay, Archie!
He's just gonna collapse against Maurice. And just like, I said I would get it, and I got it.
You got
I don't
it.
know what I've got, but I've got it. I mean, I've probably got a lot of things at this point, but like, I've got it.
You have got it. You won. You winned.
I won.
You won it.
I winned. And he's just gonna fucking fall asleep on the chair.
Okay.
All right.
Well, I guess maybe we'll see the priest tomorrow then.
Oh, boo. Maybe a good idea.
Yeah.
Maybe we can chat to some of those other folk about our inept priest and find out a
So
bit more.
yeah, Muirin is already chatting up someone at the bar. The bar is her natural habitat.
Yes.
And getting young men drunk and flapping their lips is something she's really good at.
Yeah. So, give me a charm roll. You can choose persuasion or seduction. It's your choice.
They're the same, but I'll go seduction. It's D20 plus 4, is it?
+4, yeah.
13, so 17.
Okay, yeah. So there's a young guy there because, what does Myrn look like?
So Muirin is about 150 centimeters, so she's a short woman.
Yeah.
She's very slight. She's got dark hair, very dark eyes. Talks a lot, so her voice is kind of like hoarse and sultry. But she sings a lot too, so it's a nice sort of melodic voice. Young men like it. But yeah, so she's a Selkie, Fey touched. So the way that you can tell that she is that she's almost always just like damp, as if she's just gotten out of a bath or walked out of a river. And sometimes she has, but most of the time it's just how she is. So yeah.
Would you say that your eyes are like a seal's eyes?
Yeah, they're very dark.
Yeah, that soulful brown that seals have.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. Right. So the extremely attractive woman with the soulful dark eyes is chatting to a young man. How old is Miranda?
She's 32.
Okay. How old does she look?
A little bit younger than that.
Yeah. All right. So this guy, he's probably about 19,
Oh.
20,
I
and he's
turned
like,
to Archie and went, that poor fool's got no chance.
yeah.
They'll
So
kind of wake up.
This has
look
happened
over.
before.
so yes.
Yeah.
She's a good
Yeah.
get at
So
it, yeah.
so this guy's about 19, 20. He's a tall guy, quite strong, clearly like works on a farm, so like fairly athletic looking, sandy blonde hair. He's a handsome young man, and this beautiful woman who's come in who he doesn't know is chatting away to him, and he's like, yeah, so like all my family's been here for generations. Yeah, yeah, I know everything about the town. I know the location as well. I know all of the best sites. If you wanted to go for a walk, I could show you some of the beautiful areas around here, up onto the hill too, into the forest, you know.
He knows
What
the spot.
kind of things do you like to see?
Well, I like to see the bottom of a pint glass and the
Oh,
top of a fresh one.
oh, of course. And he gestures to the
So, yeah, yeah.
mhm.
Oh,
I like to
it's
see a roaring fire in a corner with a lyre being plucked. But yeah, you say you know a lot about this place. Your family's been here a long time.
Yeah, yeah, of course. Yeah. I'm
What
not
do you
as
think of this new arrival then, this holy man?
oh, Father Leitner. Oh, he's I don't know. The man, he never stops going on about sinners. And I mean, look, my grandmother always told me, she raised me to believe in the love of the Christ Lord. There is no love in this man at all.
I agree completely. But
I am
yeah,
someone who believes in living a life full of love.
full of love. Yes, I
Yeah,
completely agree.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
His niece Ida, now she is lovely. She's a beautiful young woman. She's about the same age as myself. Really lovely young woman. Her parents, they had died, and the priest is her guardian until she marries. So she came with him when he came to Elsbethen. She came with him, and she very quickly became a favorite of the village. She's a beautiful, friendly young woman. She's a beautiful singing voice. Um, she sings in the church every Sunday, and she used to sneak in to sing here until her uncle found out, and he got furious with her and locked her in her room for a week. And I don't know. He must be angry with her again. I haven't seen her in about 5 or 6 days.
Oh, well, she sounds like such a lovely maiden. I must meet her.
Well, I mean, if you were over in the area, maybe if she's been allowed out of the house. Apart from that, unless you know how to magically teleport into a room, I don't know if you would get a chance to talk to her.
Of course, I don't know how to do that. That would be
Yeah, I jest.
ridiculous.
I mean, I see that you have Fey blood in you, but I mean, come on, that kind of nonsense is just for fairy tales and stories.
Yes, it's out of this world.
Hmm.
Um, another. Mirren has already finished her last one. She's kind of getting tired of talking to this young man, so she's just going to make sure he goes to sleep pretty quick.
He is doing his best. He's trying it thick. He's talking to you about all the beautiful spots that you can see. He's telling you that there's like in a few days there's a harvest festival, so there'll be dancing and music. And he then starts talking about what he does on the farm and how strong he is, you know.
So strong.
Yeah, like God love him. He's really trying, but the guy is just so he's just like so out of his league. Not a chance, you know? This stuff might work on the sweet, simple local farming girls, but not on someone like Myrn. Not a chance.
Mm-mm. She has the information that she has been looking for.
Yeah.
So
Have you asked any maidens to that dance?
Yeah.
You should
So,
ask Ida.
I don't think her uncle would like that.
I'll have a chat with him.
Who cares about the uncle?
And he's blushing at this point. And he's trying to finish his beer, and you can see it's beginning to affect him now. He puts down his glass, like, excuse me, please. I'll be back in a moment. And he goes in the direction of the outhouse.
Gibbs is just dancing around on the table, sloshing beer around, singing salacious songs about how the priest is a dickhead.
And a few of the locals really enjoy it, and they're getting in on it with you. Like, you're getting the impression that the local priest, he doesn't appear to have much love from the villagers. A lot of maybe respect born of fear, but definitely no love.
All right, well, it sounds like we got to run this dick out of town then.
Hell yeah.
So, what is the plan?
I guess the night's not young anymore.
It's not crazy late. It's probably this stage getting to about 10 o'clock in the evening. A lot of people will be beginning to go home. Inns like this normally serve till usually between 10 and 11. So it's getting close to last orders. Because you have to remember, the people in this village, they get up with sunrise. They're farmers. So
we're tourists.
They get up at sunrise to work the land. So, they're all going to be getting up at probably sometime between 5 and 6 in the morning.
Hey, what time has that wild hunt been kicking off? I want to make sure I get a good glimpse.
So, literally, as you say that, you suddenly hear a thunderous noise from outside. What sounds like hundreds of horses galloping over the roof of the inn. Hunting horns blasting, hounds baying, and you can hear the tiles of the roof of this inn rattling in this ferocious wind that has suddenly appeared out of nowhere.
Gang, it's up. It's right on time.
The locals immediately kind of scoot down protectively and defensively.
No, I rush out the front door.
So rushing out the front door, looking up ahead of you, above
Lawrence,
you.
come on! You don't want to miss this.
So what you see is this ethereal, almost ghostly cavalcade racing across the night sky. Like, it's crazy. It looks like it's maybe 100 meters up in the air, but it's hard to know because perspective and distance in the sky. And it's just hundreds and hundreds of these massive steeds being ridden by these men in what look to be hunter's garb, though some of them actually look like they're wearing old ornate armor. Some of them look like they may be wearing helmets with great stag-like antlers coming from the sides, or perhaps they have stag-like antlers protruding from their heads. There are massive dogs, hounds, huge things, like enormous, running alongside the horses as well, barking and baying and howling too, as the hunt kind of arches and turns around, and you see it going in the direction of where Albert pointed, in the direction of the parochial house where the priest is. And as it comes over the house, it swoops down, and then you in the direction of the house, going quite low, and when it does, as it gets close to the house, you hear this loud keening noise coming from that direction, followed by sudden flashes of radiant light. Yeah.
You see that?
Yeah, I'm seeing it.
That's the priest's house. It went towards the priest's house.
Do the hunt get summoned, or
No one knows.
Interesting. Maybe we should find out.
It's-
I'm a little drunk, but I don't care. I mean,
Yeah.
cool.
Archie!
Gibbs pokes his head back into the pub and is like, "Oh, does that wild hunt thing always end up at the priest's house?"
Not always, but many times it has gone over Father Leitner's house. Yes.
That can't be a fucking
Right,
coincidence.
right.
Consideration. Archie's going to kind of come back
Yes.
around again.
There he is.
Whoa, he's still
Woo!
alive?
Yeah.
He's alive?
Winning!
I think it took all that to wake him up. If I were... No. If I were a priest... If
If you were a priest,
If
isn't
I was
it?
a priest,
Sentence.
Florence, I'd make a wonderful priest. But if
If
I was
you were
a priest,
you'd make an interesting priest.
I'd be a great priest. But that's what I'm about to broach the subject of. If I were a priest, and he's gonna start like proper like tapping on the table, and I didn't like the amount of sinners in my town, and I got mad about it. That's a headphone just got.
I'll be in.
And I got mad about it.
Water.
What would
Give me
I
some-
do? What would you do? You'd summon a wild hunt.
Summon
to
a
hunt
wild hunt
sinners.
for the sinners. The drop.
Wild
Yes.
Exactly.
Oh my God.
I slide a glass of water in front of you.
So you know what we should do?
Chucked it.
We should summon a counter wild hunt to go against the priest summoned wild hunt, and after both go smashing in the middle and have a big wild hunt, big party.
I
And have
think
people
that-
bet on it.
I think that might
It's all
end in
coming
like a
together.
lot of death.
What was in that beer, Fabian?
2 whiskeys.
It's just a vice beer. It's a local vice beer.
I'm not used
would
to
you
this
prefer
European
that?
stuff.
Would you prefer a kosher? I have that too.
Oh, yeah. That sounds delightful. No, let's go check out this priest's house.
Come on! And he'll kind of like
All right, let's
wait, like
go.
he's got the rifle off his back and he's just sort of like,
Yeah.
right, off.
So you are gonna go marching in the direction of the priest's house.
Yep.
They've gone off into the distance,
Cool.
swooping down, and then and kind of traveled over the house.
Hey, we could pretend that we're concerned because we saw the hunt go so close to his house.
Or we could pretend that we are also the hunt and be like, hello.
Let's
we
get
fell
horses.
off
I'd
and
love to
we're
ride a
knocking
horse.
at your door now. Because I mean you're all Fey touched. They're not too different from Fey, I'm sure.
Right, this guy doesn't like the Fae. Probably don't tell the difference, does he?
Oh. Hang
He's
on,
gonna-
I can make you look, and he's gonna take off his little half-loon sunglasses. So Archie has like really dark black kind of magpie oil slick hair, kind of really pale freckled skin, sort of white eyes, and dresses all very dapper, but he's gonna take off his little half-loon sunglasses and kind of try and figure out which one of Florence's heads is the correct and real life head. And is then going to try and put them on her face. And then he doesn't know what color your eyes are.
Ah,
Wow.
See? Looks like a fae. And he'll point to
you
the
did
others
almost-
of them.
you know, I was almost thinking for a second that your plan was to just poke my eyes out. I did get a bit concerned.
I didn't though.
A priest
Right?
wouldn't do that. And as we know,
No.
Archie's a priest.
He would make a great priest. Yeah.
True.
I'd be
We
a
could always
great
add that
priest.
to the lie. You could just be a priest as well. Who cares? Just keep adding things.
Just keep lying. Nothing can go wrong. Okay, let's go, gang.
We're literally outside
into
of the
this
house.
So by this stage, you're outside the house. It was less than a 10-minute walk from the inn.
Let's go in, gang.
It's a pretty nice looking house. Like it's a 2-story structure. It's wide enough. You can see a number of lights on inside. Give me awareness rolls, everybody. Keen eyes.
Ooh, here we go.
Oh, I've got keen eyes.
Awareness. The 5.
I got a 16 on the dice, and then I've got a 4 in aware and 1 in keen eyes.
So 21.
Yeah.
That is also an 18.
Got a 6 total.
So Archie, you got the 21, wasn't it?
Mhm.
Yeah. So then, okay. Well, I'm gonna say with that roll, you notice that the windows of the bedroom up and on to the right of the door, like the door is in the middle of the house in the entrance. So the window of the bedroom up and to the right looks like it's a new window that's just been replaced. And you were told that one of the windows had to be replaced.
We'll point that out to the others.
Is anybody making any noises, or do you just want to? Oh, and the light is on. The curtains are closed, but the light is on in that bedroom with the new window.
I mean, Maurice has drunk a lot of beer, so probably not silent. Could that
Are
be
there any
Ida's room? Do you reckon that's the new window?
I'll climb up there.
Yeah, find out.
Okay. So if you wanna climb up there. All right. So
Quietly and
Ye-
sneakily.
So I mean, I'll allow you to use Dex for this. And your cat's grey, so that makes it a plus 11 to the roll.
Wait. Okay, I'm gonna go over to him. I'm gonna cast Spark of Life because I am an enabler, so that gives him. They
Enabler.
immediately gain a bonus to their next physical ability check.
Equal to your magic roll, which is 4, so that brings that from a plus 11 to a plus 15.
There we go.
Oh my god.
No, it's called Spark of Life. But imagine. Can you please add to Feyweld the enabler feat?
Alright, so yeah, plus 15 to
It
this
is
roll.
Dex.
And
So
that's
roll
a
your d20
14
and
on
add
the
plus
dice, so
15.
that's a 29.
Well, that's an. Yeah.
29.
Okay. Right. Super. So,
Man, I want to be enabled.
okay. So yeah, you pretty effortlessly.
I think we'll just enable you to drink in a
So
whole lot of beer.
you finding handhold easily on the rough stone that was used to build this house, you easily make your way up so that you're kind of perched half hanging from the windowsill of that room. Now, you can't see because the curtains are closed, but you're right up there.
Okay, can I hear anything?
Give me an awareness roll.
Alright, so I got keen ears, so that's a 13 total.
It's plus 6. Maybe some movement inside, you're not entirely sure. You can't make anything clearly.
Okay, so does it seem like there's any way to open the window from the outside?
Try to open it. There's no latch on this side.
Latches the outside of windows.
In fact, it looks like a fairly fancy window. There's an actual keyhole, which is not typical of these windows. Like, there usually be maybe a simple hook latch to keep them locked, but this looks like it has a proper actual keyhole. Like in the frame of the window.
That's sus.
Okay, I can try and pick the lock then.
Most certainly you can. So with your dexterity and your pick lock skill, that is a plus 10. Yeah, plus 10 because you also have nimble fingers. You can add that to it as well. Yeah.
Meanwhile, while that's happening, I'll be
Element
at the
here.
bottom going, can you just imagine if it is that fair maiden's window and then she opens the curtains, what to this noise, and there's Gibbs's face right there.
Oh, that's a 3 on the dice, so it's a 13 total.
Yeah, it's clicking, but you're not having any luck with it.
Alright, To be fair, it's probably not best to be sneaking in a young lady's window
Creepy!
anyway. But yeah, I guess I'll hop back down knowing that I can get back up there. It's locked. It's got a weird lock on it. It's weird.
Yeah.
Did you try
Betcha.
any other windows?
Sorry,
Who locks a window?
Did you
What
try
was
any
that,
other
Archie?
windows?
Betcha I could shoot the lock.
I knock on the door. Bum, 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 bum.
Yeah, let's have that as a backup plan. Archie.
I knock on the door. Bum,
you
bum, bum,
knock
bum.
on the front door.
Yeah, knock on the door, and then I step back and I sort of put a hand behind behind Maureen and just kind of push her forward a little bit.
Okay, super. And a moment later, you hear footsteps, and a moment after that, the door opens, and standing in front of you, you see a man. He looks to be in his early 40s, average height and slim build, steely grey hair, and a kind of a long, lean, very stern face, wearing a small pair of oval brass-rimmed glasses, wearing a priest's cassock. As he looks around at you all, he says, "Guten Nacht. How may I help you?"
Guten Nacht. Father, I assume?
Yeah.
We came across a terrible disturbance just above your house. And as concerned travelers, we would love to check in and see if everything is okay.
Oh, you mean the cursed Fey?
Yes, the cursed Fey.
My home is protected by the righteous, wrathful might of God.
That is so fortunate. Would you say that there is no damage done then? Everyone here is okay? Nobody has been taken?
No, this house is blessed and protected by God's might.
It looked like the hunt was coming to your house specifically. Sorry, Maureen.
Well,
Thanks. Thanks, Morris.
sinful creatures such as the Fae are often trying to trick followers of the faithful and would see someone like myself as an adversary to their evil ways.
So they're coming for you?
Please. They are fools if they do. I am protected by God's wrath and might.
Yes, we have gone over that. All right then. Just pausing here and trying to make time for somebody else to do something, perhaps slip by and
Is anybody?
I'm going around the house to see if there's a back door or something you can try and break into.
Okay. Just give me one moment, please. Yeah, going around there is a back door.
Is it locked?
Yeah, it does appear to be yes.
Okay, I'll try and pick the lock on this one this time.
Yeah, okay.
That's better, so 20 total.
Here, door opens.
nice.
Door opens and you're immediately coming into there's a hallway going down, like 3 meters down. There's two doors opposite each other, right and left. But immediately to your right, there's the stairs going up to the first floor.
Okay, I would like to grab something and throw it in a distraction that would lead away from where I am. But hopefully potentially distract the priest into a different room so that he'd be like, what is that? Go after it, and then the others could just like swarm into the house.
So describe it again. So basically, you're standing at like an L-shaped junction. To the right of the L is the stairs going up, and then to the long part of the L is a hallway. 5 meters down is a door in front of you, but 3 meters in front of you to the right and left are two doors into two other rooms. So, what way do you want to go? So, open the door to the right. It opens up into a very nice dining room. There's a large table. Looks like it could sit 10 people, and there's some cabinets that have nice glassware, and it's It's a pretty nice room. Looks like it's probably not used very much.
Okay, so I've gone and opened the door to one of those rooms. Is there like a piece of crockery or something just lying on the table I can
There's
grab and just throw at the
candelabra.
cabinet? Yeah, that'll do.
Okay.
Pick up the candelabra and throw it at the cabinet and run for the stairs. That's a 14 total.
Okay, give me a dexterity roll, please. This is just swiftness, so it's just +6. See how quickly you get going. Okay, super. So you guys outside, everybody else give me an awareness roll with keen ears. So what do people get?
I don't have keen ears.
So you just don't add that modifier. You can still roll for awareness.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Oh, that's a 1! Yay! Which one is this for?
Got a 12.
18 for me.
So, Myrn, you hear a crashing noise from inside. The priest also hears it, immediately turns and immediately starts to run. Gibbs, your base movement is 7, but you rolled, it was a 13 you said you got on that dex roll? Yeah, 13, 14. So you manage to shoot out and just get up the stairs as you hear the doors downstairs opening and heavy footfalls opening doors, and then you hear the foots going into the dining room where you just threw the candelabra. You are on the top floor. So,
Right. What's on the top floor?
you come up the stairs and there's a wall in front of you, and the corridor branches off right, and about 4 meters up on the wall on the left side, there's it branches off. There's a break in the wall, and there's like a small little pathway. There's a door. It looks like the right upper. The basically looks like most of the right hand side of this floor is just one long room, and there's 2 rooms on the other side.
Whilst this has all been going on, have I heard any other noises or reactions from any other people?
So, but by the time you get up there to the top, you do hear sounds, and then you hear some mutterings, and it's like, what the curses? What was? Did some of them get in? They couldn't have. My guardians would have let me know.
But noises upstairs, no sign of other people?
Give me a fresh awareness roll. And you can add keen ears to this.
Okay, let's see. That is an 18 total.
You hear movement from the room on the left-hand side of the front, which would be where the window was that you tried to climb up to.
Yeah, okay. I'll go up to that door then.
It's
I'll
locked.
knock on it. Hello?
It unfolds, and you then hear a feminine voice like, "Hello? Who's there?"
Just pass it by. You right?
You can't be here. If he finds you, he'll be furious. I'll be in even more trouble.
Do you need help?
You can't help me.
What's wrong?
Go. You must go. I'll be in more trouble. So, Morris, you were saying?
I was going to say, oh no, it sounds like the wild hunt is in your house.
Yeah, okay.
Let's help.
Do you want to do anything, or are you just...
Yeah, I'm going to charge on in.
You charge on in, and a moment later, as you charge in, there's like doors to the left and to the right, and there's a door about 5 meters in front of you. Barreling through that door, you see another door open to the left, and you hear noises and going. You see a dining room, and you see the priest. He's looking confused, holding a silver candelabra in his hands, and he's like, "What? I do not
the wild hunt? Is it the wild hunt?
It could not have been. My magics protect the house. I would have been warned by my guardians if they had come in here."
Oh,
I've also. Sorry, you go ahead.
No, you go.
Yeah.
I've also followed into the house, and I was able to follow the priest because I also heard the candelabra.
Yeah.
So I'm there too, I guess. And And I'd like to try and get the priest to reveal more about his magics and his guardians that he's mentioned, if possible, as a very God-fearing woman of great virtue.
So what do you say to him?
Dear father, I'm terribly concerned. This is extremely frightening. Could you perhaps help me here and to understand what is happening? I just saw the wild hunt getting frantic now, and I don't feel like I have any protection, and I'm really frightened. I don't want to be taken away by those really handsome, fearsome hunters. And yes, I could you tell me more about these guardians? I'm terribly frightened, and maybe I'll use wordsmith.
So
to
so I'm saying that Morris and Murray and you guys were like standing at the doors, hadn't gone necessarily. Do you go into the room now fully?
Yeah, I'm going into him.
Yeah,
so as soon as you go into the room, a ethereal angelic form suddenly appears, standing close to the priest, and it gives off this loud keening noise, exactly like what you heard when the hunt swooped down on the house. And the priest just turns, and with a wave of his hand, the spectral form disappears. So, as you see, I have my guardians in each of these rooms.
An angel? Truly, you are visited by the Lord. I'm so grateful.
I am blessed by the Lord, and through his gifts can summon beings of divine light.
Incredible. Little tears coming out of her eyes now, just in pious and holy awe.
Yes, well, I do not know what happened. I am confused because if a Fey creature had come into this room, my guardian would have sent a warning cry. So I do not know.
Not that cry, just there, no?
Well, that was me simply showing you its form.
Oh.
I see.
This guy's to show off.
I've summoned these Fey to protect my house. Sorry, these guardians to protect my house from the Fey. If any Fey creature, and I mean true Fey, not people like yourselves who unfortunately have been corrupted by the sinner's blood, but as you are clearly still a devout Christian woman, and will be cleansed and healed when you are reborn in God's light on the day of resurrection.
Can't wait.
I stifle a laugh and kind of smooth it into a cough. Yeah. Yes.
But if a true Fey creature had entered this room, my guardian would have appeared and would have sent out a warning keen, and if the creature had stayed, it would have attacked with the Lord's wrath.
Wow.
Yes, praise him. Hopefully this is giving Gibbs more time.
Yeah. So why? I don't know. Why again? Are they picking on you?
Because I am a servant of the Lord, and they are sinful creatures.
I know, but there's other servants of the Lord, and they're not being attacked by the wild hunt.
This village I have discovered since I came here several months ago is full of sin, and creatures such as the Fae, the Nephilim, those angels that chose not to side with the Lord but did not side with Lucifer and were so forth cast down to live their lives on this earth. They
deserve
damnation.
Yes.
Damnation.
Yes, damnation. Fires of hell.
So while this conversation's going, Gibbs, you're upstairs, and as I said, the young girl is like, "No, you must leave. If he sees you, I will be in even more trouble. It's just awful. You don't understand how powerful my uncle is."
No one ever catches me. I'll be fine, all right?
Stop talking so loud.
No one ever catches me. I'll be fine. I'm just concerned. Why are you locked up in this room? What's he doing to you?
He told me I cannot go out. I cannot go out to see him.
See you?
Give me a charm roll. Persuasion.
All right. Well, I got nothing, so this is straight away.
Hold on. Yeah, you have a charm of 0.
Yeah,
Oh, no.
rolled a 12.
The wrong rogue is up here right now. You have 2 for our
Oh,
viewers.
no.
We have 2 rogues in the party. Fey Earth is a wonderful system that allows you to create a highly customized character. So we have 2 players playing the exact same class with completely different skill sets. Completely different. Gibbs, our goblin, he is very good at getting in and out of places, very good at not being seen, good at opening up locks that don't want to be opened. Murren is very good at getting in and out of places and not being seen, but she is also far better at seduction and persuasion and deception. And if that doesn't work, she'll shank the fucker. So,
Absolutely.
yeah, that's not gonna. Look. You must go. You can tell that it's not that she doesn't want. Like this young girl is clearly full of fear, and that's what is her overriding instinct here. Is like, you don't understand. Please, is there any way that you could go? There's a window at the end of the hall. If you just go and turn left, there's a window at the end. Could you get out that way?
You want me to unlock your door?
It doesn't matter if you unlock the door. I cannot leave. You don't understand.
Why is he doing this? I don't understand.
He says that I have fallen into sin.
Yeah, religious shit.
Please.
I can just I can go out the way I came in. It's fine. There's no trouble there.
Wait, how did you come in? If you say you can open the door, does that mean you can open locks?
I can open anything.
If you open the lock on this door and open the lock on the window, you could escape that way and not be seen by my uncle.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so please open the door. So give me a fresh lock picking roll here.
That is a 20.
Let's go. Yes.
Oh yeah. Effortlessly. Effortlessly, you open the lock on the door, and the door opens into a fairly plain, simple room. It's like a 4x4 meter square room. There's a double bed tucked up underneath a window. To the right of you, there's a large dresser, like a wardrobe with chests of drawers underneath it. And on the left wall, there's a small fireplace. And you see this young girl. She looks to be about 20, quite tall, slender, an extremely beautiful young woman with long, flowing blonde hair, soft blue eyes, and extremely delicate features. Think almost Margot Robbie-esque, okay? She is a stunning young woman, okay? Wearing a very...
Could be better if she was like 2 feet taller, to be honest.
Yeah, exactly. She's quite tall. She's like probably like 180, 185, maybe even a little taller. Like she is statuesque. Yes. Gibbs is like this. Okay. And she's wearing a very, very simple dress of light blues and yellows. And she says, okay, please, let's go over to the window over here and see if you can do that again. And could you lock this door first? Please, if you could lock the door first, please.
Why don't you just escape?
No, I can't. Please, lock the door first.
What's he going to do to you?
Nothing as long as I stay here.
This guy's evil.
It's...
What can you tell me about him quickly?
So give me a fresh charm roll now. Now that you broke into the room and you're clearly trying to help her, the target number is now dropping. And also you're really short, so she thinks you're cute. Yeah.
Yeah, the short bonus is coming in. That's an 8 on the dice.
Oh, good lord. It's even worse. No.
Oh, but how much does he get to add for being short?
I had lowered the target number.
Yeah, but come on, that's a feature, isn't
Hey,
it?
please,
Short
just
plus
let's.
5.
If you could lock this door, so my uncle does not realize anybody was in here, and then we can open the window. Okay.
All right, sure, all right.
So with that natural 20 you got from picking the lock, I'm not even going to make you roll. You can easily lock the door again from the inside, and you head over to the window. So give me a fresh pick locking roll for the window.
And the
It's a
room's
very
just like
plain.
what?
It's a very plain bedroom. Like it's not like shit. It's just a plain bedroom. You know what you would expect in a room like this. There's a bed. There's a dresser, like wardrobe. There's a fireplace. There's a There's a wash basin in the corner. It's a very plain room. You know, there's no magic chests or anything. There's not even a bookshelf. It's somewhat austere, yes. So give me a fresh dex roll.
That's 6 on the
Plus
dice.
10, 16,
and
yeah.
it
You
was,
pop,
what,
you
plus
so
10,
you've
so
opened the
wasn't it?
curtains,
So
opened up the
16.
lock, and looking outside, you can see Archie and Florence are outside. Archie, Florence, looking up, you see the curtains drawn, the window opens, and you see Gibbs leaning out, and beside him, this stunningly beautiful young woman.
Before like going out the window, I say, you sure you don't want to come with me?
No, no.
How about a message? Do you want me to pass someone a message on for you?
I don't think you would see him, but you saw the hunt, yes? Well, the one I would want to send the message to rides with the hunt.
Oh, of course he does. Yeah, the hunt is the coolest thing ever, so he's trying to get to you, and that's why he comes to your house, yeah?
I can't talk. Please, just leave before he sees you.
All right,
Please.
I'll go chat to this hunter. Sounds cool. And he will hop out the window and climb down the drain pipe and join the others.
Yeah. Okay. So Florence and Archie, you can see this young girl, and she's just really concerned, like anxious look on her face, looking out at Gibbs.
Gibbs gets out and he's like, all right, she's on the hunt.
What? So she's grounded for being too. You know.
Right, she's a young viral filly and she wants to join the hunt and all. Yeah, it's a classic love story.
Oh, why didn't you come with you? Oh, go back up. We need to reunite her with. We need to reunite her with her star-crossed love. Come on.
Well, maybe we can help the hunt, but the uncle's a bit of a hard ass, and so it's like, oh, I can't leave my uncle.
Would Archie or Florence like to try and talk to this young girl?
I was trying to talk and then I realized I'd left myself on mute.
Oh,
just not a brain cell in this head. Yeah, Archie's gonna like saunter up to underneath the window, shove his hands in his pockets, and just there's like more, because I feel like he's still pissed. There's more out there like than up there. In character, he was saying.
Shh, my uncle will hear you.
Oh, we can deal with him. He says, very obviously making like we'll just kill him.
Florence, what are you doing while Archie does this?
God, it's not really much Florence could do.
You have a ring. You could jump up there to the room if you wanted.
I was gonna consider it. I was gonna consider the much safer option of just shaping the earth and walking up there.
The ring would be safer. You also have a much higher charm than Gibbs.
How
outrageous! I'm a charming
Archie?
gentleman.
Sorry?
How charming is Archie looking? Archie's more charming than it. Let's walk up
He's
together.
a-
Come on.
He's a
Let's have a little-
sophisticated-looking
Slimy
bastard.
Archie is quite charming as well. Archie, give me a charm roll with your persuasion and your conversationist. That's a +8.
Isn't Archie like super pissed and hungover and smells of cheese?
Yeah, that's a 16.
Total?
Oh my god.
That's a 16 on the dice.
So
16 plus
24.
8 is- Thank you, I
24?
got it.
Yes. Okay. So
Nice.
He'll just be
Right.
hanging out by the front
So,
door again. Just
I'll
keeping
say
an
with
eye
that
out,
roll, she
keeping
says,
watch.
look, the problem is my beloved he was here several nights ago. My uncle came out and they fought. And in the fight, he dropped his horn, which my uncle has taken and has locked in his chest in his room. This is my beloved needs his hunter's horn back. But my uncle is using powerful magics to keep it locked away. I can't get to it. If I could get it back to Elfwing, and then we could leave together. But right now, could you help me?
Yeah.
Really, you should have just told us that when I was up there, love, because I could have just walked across landing and got it.
So, Murren and Morris, you guys are inside, and he's showing you this pretty impressive display of magic. Like, this guy's clearly not. He's clearly not a snake oil salesman. He has legit arcane abilities. Impressive arcane abilities, it would seem. What are you two doing right now?
You go.
Would the others be in earshot so that I would know
Give me an awareness roll.
when
They're trying to be quiet
Oh, yeah. I
because
want to
they
do that.
also don't want the priest to hear them. That's
Yeah.
not good.
Natural 1.
14 base oh god. And 3, so 17.
Okay, 17. So you're listening out, trying to hear something, are you?
I'm trying to figure out when everybody else manages to evacuate the house so that we can start wrapping up our extremely pious and awestruck conversation.
What you hear is what sounds like some sort of talking going on outside at the front of the house. And the priest, Father Leitner, also appears to have heard. Wait, what is that? Are there more of your friends outside? And he starts walking towards the door, leaving to go into the front of the house.
Oh yeah, no, they're our friends. They're at the pub. They're just a bit drunk. They're probably arguing, to be honest. So don't worry about them.
More sinners, well, and that's like Fed
No,
he's walking past you now, heading out towards the front of the house.
No, we helped bring old Albrecht back from wherever from.
You following him?
Yeah, following him. Jeez.
Okay.
Yeah, we better follow him.
Yeah. Archie?
So Gibbs is at the front door. He'll see him coming and he says to the others, "Ooh."
Yeah.
What's Archie doing? I saw Archie had your hand up.
Yeah, the second Archie sees the father, he's going to stop looking up. He's going to look dead forward, kneel down, hands in a proper prayer position, and then go, "Father, I was waiting for salvation."
Right. So you see Gibbs gesturing that there's somebody coming. Ida sees this and quickly closes the windows and closes the curtains. And as that's happening, Father Leitner walks out and sees you dropping prostrate on the ground, declaring your need for salvation. He comes up to you and says, "Of course, my child, of course you are troubled, I see, by sins."
Oh, so many sins. There is blood on my hand and liquor in my stomach.
He has been supping on the indulgences. He cannot help himself. Please, Father, you must spare this absolute, genuine angel from damnation. You must save him.
Yes, do ignore the bit where he said he had blood on his hands, though. Do not report him to the police, please.
Oh, it's all blood, and he'll
Figurative.
kind of hold his hands up to Florence. It's like, it's dry. I mean, it's not even dry. I mean, it was dried, and then I washed it off, but it's more like symbolic.
Yes, he's referring
It's
to the
symbolic.
symbolic blood of Christ.
It's wine. Father, it's wine. Okay.
It's very in by the book.
Would you
That's-
like me to burn away the sin?
The woman?
Yes.
Silence.
He says in
Taking a
question
half
mark.
step back,
Oh,
he
shit.
extends a hand.
Fucking hell.
So taking a half step back, he extends a hand, and he is going to cast Divine.
Maurice is putting brass knuckles on his
And
fist
a
behind him.
pulse of
Yeah.
radiant energy shoots from his hand, striking you. It's going to do. So just give me 1 second. I need to fish out a D4. Okay.
I'm looking at Maureen.
Oh, that was a 4 on my D4.
Are we going? Are we going?
You get struck and you feel this like burning energy. You suffer 9 points of damage, but then as you're crying out, he steps towards you, says, "No, the sin is being burned from your body," and he puts a hand on your forehead, and another soft, divine, glowing light emits from his hand, filling you, and you're filled with this kind of warm feeling. You're not healed, but you are just being blessed.
Oh.
So, essentially, you get a reservoir of divine blessing equal 5 points, a pool of 5 points that you can add in any amount that you want to any ability checks for the next 24 hours.
Oh my god.
So, well, it's a pool of 5, and once it's used, it's gone. So, yes, having learned about the forbidden love of the young niece of this righteous and extremely fundamentalist priest who has attempted to burn away your sins with a beam of radiant energy and
I'd say
then
more than
blessed
that.
you afterwards, you guys not really sure what to do right now. Having Gibbs, Florence, and Archie having much more information than Murren and Maurice, but hopefully, if you can get away from here, you can come up with a plan. And I think this is a perfect place to pause in our story.
Well done.
Yay!
Yay!
So we'll be back very soon with part 2 of this chaos, and hopefully the party can succeed without anyone being killed. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.